It was supposed to be a relaxing Friday evening. I'd just gotten back early from a 3-day hunting trip up north. No phone, no emails, no HOA drama. Just me, my dog, and the open road. When I pulled through the ranch gate, though, something was wrong. My porch lights were off. The house was silent. The hum of the water pump and power system, usually steady as a heartbeat, was gone. Then I saw the utility pole. The main power line to my ranch had been cut. Clean through. I froze. This wasn't an accident. Someone had climbed the pole and sliced the line right at the source. And right there, standing next to the breaker box with a smug look on her face, was HOA Karen. Clipboard in one hand, bolt cutters in the other. She turned around like she'd been caught trying to unplug the moon. "Oh, you're home early," she said, like she was commenting on the weather. I stared at her. "Karen, what the hell did you do?" She adjusted her sunglasses. "I turned off your power. You're in violation of HOA energy use standards. We had to enforce emergency measures." I blinked. "Karen, this is my ranch. I'm off the grid. I have my own solar system and a backup generator. You don't control any of that." She rolled her eyes. "That's what you think. But your energy lines cross community airspace. That gives the HOA jurisdiction." I swear I thought she was joking. Community airspace? "Karen, that's not even a thing." She smirked. "Well, now it is. The board approved it." I took a slow step forward. "Karen, did you cut my power line with those?" She proudly raised the bolt cutters. "Yes, I had to. You were stealing energy from the grid. That's when I lost it." "Stealing energy? My system isn't even connected to the grid. It's completely private." Right then, my dog, Duke, a 95-pound German Shepherd, trotted up beside me, growling low. His ears were forward, tail stiff. Karen froze. Is he trained?" she asked nervously. "Only for situations like this," I said, crossing my arms. She dropped the bolt cutters. "Oh, I was just checking the box. It's, a community safety inspection." Before I could answer, I heard sirens. Karen actually called the cops again. Couldn't believe it. 2 county officers pulled up. Karen ran toward them, pointing at me. "That's him. He's running an illegal power operation. I cut his lines and he threatened me with a dog." The officers looked at each other like they'd just walked into a circus. One said, "Ma'am, did you just admit you cut his power line?" Karen's eyes went wide. "Well, yes, but..." The second cop interrupted. "Ma'am, that's a felony. You can't tamper with private utility equipment." "It's not private," she snapped. "It's part of our community infrastructure." I handed the officer a folder, receipts, permits, off-grid certification. "Everything here's legal and independent." She trespassed and cut my power. The officer nodded, flipping through the papers. "Yep, he's completely off-grid. This has nothing to do with your HOA." Karen crossed her arms. "Well, maybe it should. People can't just live however they want." The first cop sighed. "Ma'am, that's literally what private property means." Then he looked up at the pole and whistled. "You used bolt cutters on a live line? You could have killed yourself." Karen frowned. "I was wearing rubber shoes." I swear one of the cops almost laughed out loud. At that point, I was done. "Officer, I'd like to press charges for property damage and trespassing." Karen gasped. "You can't do that. I was helping the community." The cop shrugged. "Ma'am, you're under arrest." She started yelling about civil rights, community bylaws, and something about how I was hoarding sunlight again. They put her in the back of the cruiser while she shouted, "You'll regret this. The HOA owns this valley." One officer leaned over and muttered, "Not anymore. She doesn't." They took her away, and I stood there, half laughing, half exhausted. My dog wagged his tail, proud as ever. It took the electric company 3 days to restore the line, and they confirmed what I already knew. Karen had not only cut my ranch's connection, but she'd also severed the HOA's shared emergency line in the process, which meant her entire HOA was now without power. The city fined her over $60,000 for tampering with electrical infrastructure. The HOA board voted to suspend her indefinitely, and she had to attend something called a Power Safety and Property Boundaries workshop. I, on the other hand, got the ultimate revenge. The next weekend, I hosted a power back party. I strung up lights all over the ranch, powered entirely by my own off-grid system, and invited half the county, including the same cops who arrested her. We grilled steaks, blasted music, and even projected an old cowboy movie on my barn wall using solar power. And the best part? From the edge of the party, you could see the HOA subdivision across the road, completely dark. Not a single light on. That night, someone handed me a drink and said, "Man, you really showed her who runs this town." I grinned, looked over at the dark houses and said, "Yep, you mess with my ranch power, and I'll light up the night."